Hey, welcome back to my channel. My name is Delcy. Now, if you watched my last video, you know that there are a lot of things that we've been waiting for. It just seems like that's the way of life. We all have things that we're waiting for. It's supposed to create in us some character or patience or something like that. But like my grandma always used to say, who needs that much character? One of the things that we've been waiting for is guinea hogs. We've been raising pigs for several years now, but the pigs that we have now are really big and they're really destructive. And on our property, those things don't go well together. And we're wanting to set ourselves apart in the meat market in our area. With as much prepping as possible done to leave our animals and farm behind, we loaded up and headed south. The time had come to go get our new pigs. This was the first real vacation that we'd ever taken with our kids, and we decided to make the most of it and camp on the way down.
You guys having fun?
Yeah.
Yeah? What are you excited about?
Swimming!
In just our normal everyday lives, we've actually stepped away almost completely from the normal food industry, and we make most of our food from scratch. So on this trip, we decided to load up as much food as possible to take with us and to eat well. really well on this trip, and really to save as much cash as possible by not just going out to eat or going to a gas station for every meal on the way down. And boy, oh boy, did we eat well. On our first leg of the journey, we went through Bozeman and then stopped to eat in Idaho Falls. So we needed to gas up there, and the kids needed a break from just driving. And so we found a nice little grassy spot next to the gas station and pulled out our food and had a delicious lunch. Tortillas were a great way to have some bread that didn't take up much room in our packing, but also made us feel like we had a sandwich and really filled us up. These farm kids are not used to sitting for hours on end, so these scooters help them to use their big muscle groups and to use up some of that stored up energy while we gassed up and got the food ready for lunch. This was a lifesaver for all of us.
Ice. No ice.
We've been fortunate. Our first night, we made it to Salt Lake City, and it was actually a really busy and crowded RV park, but surprisingly, it was actually quiet. And that first morning, we made some goat milk yogurt and some bacon, and then we just kind of relaxed for the rest of the day. We made a Dutch oven lunch, and we stayed that second night in Salt Lake City because we had a meeting in the area during that time, but it allowed us to just kind of relax as we got away from farm life and just kind of enjoyed just some downtime as a family.
Pray. Thanks for time to get away and rest and enjoy one another. And beef, it's what's for dinner. Cooked in a Dutch oven with potatoes and homegrown asparagus by Mama. Yep, rough life camping.
Navajo fried bread. We did it.
After a hearty breakfast the next morning, we were off on the next leg in our journey, and along the way, around lunchtime, we stopped at another park area that we just happened to come across. That was during kind of the lunch hour, and we got our food out and we let the kids soak in some water. They'd been wanting to swim somewhere, and so it was warm enough that they were able to dip their feet in this little river, slow-moving river, and the little fish nibbled at their toes. They had a great time. That's funny. But the next part of our little adventure seemed to drag on and on and on.
Our big might be ticklish. We have to struggle in there.
But the scenery was beautiful and the company was great, and we finally made it.
You made it, guys. Good job.
Thanks, Mom, for driving that last
Mom, that chicken right there, that's that boy's on.
Yeah?
That's our chicken.
Oh, hello, turkeys. Hi, guys. Hi, big.
He's not even listening.
Are you not listening? Why aren't you listening, Mr. Pig?
Where's our arms?
More we okay.
And rescued him. I wish he was safer.
You like that?
He's a tank. He's just incredible.
If we were
So's Jasper though.
Because she said she was excited to see the guinea hogs.
Yeah. Show how.
I'm assuming you do. Is there any registered guinea?
Yeah. That's other. I would have told you, head that way.
Right. Okay, so I'm not feeling so bad that this is how we hunt. You want all girls?
Yeah, all the girls, I guess.
It's all right, Mama. It's all right, Mama. It's all right, Mama, baby. He's like, la. He's just saying. He says, "Oh, okay. Oh, okay. Bye-bye. Bye-bye."
You know, as a mom, it is so just delightful to take in the sights and the sounds and the scenery through the eyes of my kids. You know, they haven't traveled much, and so I was able to see things through their eyes, and that is just so wonderful.
Beautiful. Ready, get ready, get ready. Do it again. Anything you'd add to this? And so what does, like, that we would be providing?
Yeah, sort of 4-H, whether it's we could continue to proceed with the fodder, hay.
And we really tried to just make it a point to not rush
What do you think?
through all of this, to be able to be willing to stop when it suited us. You know, to say, we're gonna randomly and spontaneously stop here because it looks cool, and to just be able to enjoy those things that might be hidden off of the roadways that normally when we're just go on a trip, you wouldn't even notice is there. And so we made it a point to find those little places that were off the road and to really stop and enjoy them.
Oh, that's good.
It was too brushy over that one, bud. You can go
I
under.
found a way that you just
We're in the middle of Colorado somewhere, and we found a creek, so we're going down to it.
doesn't calm water.
It's not calm?
No.
No.
This is clean and
It's clean though. It's a cool, clean little creek though. Huh. You having fun? Yeah? Has it been fun getting the pigs?
Try again.
It's so easy to feel like we have to rush here and there and get from point A to point B as quickly as possible because, you know, everything at home and on the farm just might fall apart. But that's not true. We know that. The work will always be there when we get home, always. And if we rushed home, we'd only be at home, waiting for the rest of the things that we're waiting for. So slow down, enjoy the journey, and make those memories.
Oh, piggies, how are you doing? You want them to be home, piggies?
We encountered several areas of moisture on our trip going down and back up. And just knowing that there was just not one cloud on the horizon and our drought-stricken land up in Montana made me just wish that I could capture these clouds and bring them home with us to just our dry and desolate land. We imagined the headlines. Bears haven't visited Jellystone Park for 20 years until the Ploufs arrived with 4 pigs.
We're having another gourmet meal. Camping at Jellystone Park and near Estes.
With pigs.
The pigs are safely put away in the back of the Trailblazer. No bears around here. We also brought a whole jug of honey. We'll have to hide that too.
Hey, boo-boo.
Truthfully, it didn't occur to us to think about bears and pigs on our drive back home. And when we arrived at Jellystone in Estes Park, it was swarming with people. It was so busy. The lovely lady at the front desk told us how important it was to keep all of our food items in a cooler in our tent. And I was thinking, why would I keep my food in my tent and invite the bears into my tent? But they were very proud to let us know that bears had not visited Jellystone for over 20 years. But it was because of the safe food practices that they've implemented in the area. I have a feeling not many people show up with 4 pigs in tow. We actually didn't record our surreptitious transfer of our pigs from our trailer to our Trailblazer because we were actually feeling very nervous about the whole situation because there were people everywhere surrounding us in the spot right next to us and the spot behind us and the spot over here. We were surrounded by people. And at this point, looking back, I wish that we had recorded that whole situation. Because really, I'd like to know how suspicious we really did look with our contraband. You know, did the neighbors next door at breakfast say, "Man, did you hear those guys in that tent over there? They were snoring like pigs." Or maybe, "Man, listen, they're eating like pigs over there." We all know how pigs like to smack their lips.
Boom!
We just hurried up and got the pigs loaded, so they're being pretty quiet. You can hear them blinking a little bit, but we're out of here. We're loaded up and we're heading home with our little piggies.
And as we were checking out, we noticed a family pull up right alongside of us. And as they got out of the picture, they were craning their necks to see what kind of exotic dog we had in the kennels in the back.
Little piggies, you better be thankful that that's the only bear that you saw was Yogi Bear. Yeah, you better be thankful, guys. That's the only bear. How are you doing? Doing good in there?
After several hours, when we were safely out of the park, the pigs got a really good meal and some water. They were getting closer and closer to their new home.
Okay, well. Yeah. Prison life is tough, isn't it? Here, pigs.
You smell some food? Okay, we'll get it for you guys. There you go.
Push. Cheesy.
Oh, you will for her. She is? Good. Did you get a picture?
I did. There you go.
Good. I feel so much better than having gotten fed water.
Me too.
24 hours.
We're home. Your dream come true.
You wrote it down. Hopefully it's hours. Hours.
I can help.
No, you're good. Talk to me.
I can put it in.
Just set it down. Okay, you balance it. Another one, sweetie.
Need to help you? I'm gonna squeeze them both at the time. There you go.
Let's let them settle for a bit, please, bud. They've got sea legs.
Well, we made it home. We got to get a taste of some travel, and we fulfilled a dream that we can now cross off of that list. But now we'll be waiting for them to mature and then breed and then to farrow and then for those little piggies to mature. I guess our waiting for these little pigs isn't over yet. But don't go just yet. There is one thing that we're not waiting for anymore, and that's our big bulk food order. Stay tuned next week when I go over my big grocery haul. See you then.